What's going on YouTube? In today's video, we are looking at the top sniper Cs in Modern Warfare 2 ranked play. If you do enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe, maybe leave a comment, and tell me what you want to see next. Now, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is the damage values of each sniper rifle in the game that we can use in ranked play. So, as you can tell, looking at these, the LAB and the SPX both do the best overall damage to when it comes to one-shot kill potential in ranked play. You don't get one shot to the legs just like any other sniper in the game. However, for the MCPR, Signal 50, and the Victus XMR, you don't get a one-shot kill to the lower arms. So that's obviously something you gotta look out for when you're choosing a sniper, because generally you're gonna want the better damage, obviously. So now that we have that out of the way, and we know that the SPX and the LAB both have incredible damage, now let's go look at the actual stats when it comes to mobility, strafe speed, and fire rate. So next up, we have the stats here, but before we get into that, I want to make sure I do give a shout out to sim.gg. You can go to their site, look at all these other stats for guns and like for Warzone 1 stats, and even and a whole lot more. They have tons of stats for other games like Battlefield and all that stuff. This is where I got these stats from to put in here. And then if you also want to check out other weapon classes, you can go to my site at warzoneclasses.com. Got plenty of classes even for Warzone 1 guns if you still want to play Caldera or like other Call of Duty multiplayer games. Got a bunch of stuff there. So, here we got stats, as you can see, for ADS time, fire rate, bolt velocity, sprint to fire, obviously magazine, and then the reload times and strafe speed. So, for all of these, the stats these are with like attachments on the weapons, even though generally in like the CDL, the pros have decided to GA using attachments on snipers just to allow for weapon balance, but this ranked play, you don't necessarily have to follow the GAs, and like might as well use a few attachments to buff up that ADS speed. So, and I have these color coded, so you can very clearly see what does the best when it comes to bullet velocity right here. ADS time and all these other stats like that we have. And like I also you might notice that for the MCPR, I am using the 5-round mag instead of the stock 10-round mag, just because you can get better ADS speed and there's only 4 players on the map, so generally you don't need the 10 bullets if you're going to use the MCPR. So, as you can clearly see, that the SPX has the most green values when it comes to all these. So, and then the Signal 50 has the most red. So like this very clearly shows you how good the SPX stacks up, especially with 4 of these being bolt action. The SPX is the best when it comes to the fire rate. You got incredible fire rate for a bolt action sniper rifle, and the bullet velocity is not that far behind the LAB and MCPR. Probably not even going to notice any difference at all. And then got the reload times right in line with the LAB, both the same. Just almost the best strafe speed. The MCPR is going to take that, so like it's got the best sprint to fire. So like off, just off of this, you can clearly see that these three right here, the SPX, LAB, and the MCPR, for if you're looking for bolt action, these are the best ways to go. Like, if you want to experiment with these other two, you can, but I would stick with these three if you're wanting to like experiment with other ones. But we can clearly see the SPX all around is the best way to go. If you're looking for a sniper rifle to use in search and destroy, I don't recommend snipers in um, respawn modes. Not the way to go. Definitely not the way to go. Now, let's get into the classes because I know that's what you've been waiting for. So, first up, we got the SPX. This is, in my opinion, the best sniper rifle to use in ranked play. You see a lot of the pros use it in the CDL, obviously without attachments, but we're going to use attachments. So we got the Elevate barrel, which is going to help with ADS speed primarily, and then a little bit mobility, but just going for best ADS speed possible. Gonna get ADS speed with stock and the rear grip. For the bolt, obviously, you gotta go rear chamber speed. You gotta speed that up. You get bullets out as fast as possible. You got high velocity. That's this free attachment. You got it. Might as well use it. So like, this is the class I'll go with. Obviously, there's no tuning in ranked play, so just like this, don't need to go into tuning. Next up, the LAB. So for the LAB, I only run 4 attachments. I run the high velocity, the same bolt as the SPX, the aim assist comb, and the pad extension. These are just get ADS speed with these two, better bullet velocity, and then reach chamber speed. You gotta have that. If you want to get a faster ADS speed, because this is not going to ADS as fast as the SPX. The SPX is going to perform a whole lot better when it comes to that. If you want to, you can go with the Bryson factory barrel, but it's going to hurt your range a little bit, so I would just be aware of that. So, personally, I'd go with the 4 attachments. You want the barrel? Go for the barrel. Whatever floats your boat. Next up, the MCPR. So, for this, the Merc Stop, rear grip, the bolt, and 5-round mag, high velocity. Again, stock and rear grip, speed up that ADS speed, reach chamber speed, 5-round mag just because you don't need the 10, and high velocity. As you can tell, a lot of these classes are pretty much almost copy and paste, basically. Just that's the best way to go, to speed up that ADS speed, because you want to make sure in those moments in search and destroy, if you are running a sniper, since you can't run overkill, you gotta be able to get that gun up quickly in close range scenarios. Next up is the Victus XMR. We're gonna skip over the Signal 50 for now, just so we can stick with the like bolt action rifles in the game. So the first thing you can tell is that we're running a different optic this time. This is basically the same optic as you can tell, the SPX, because the zoom on the default one is just way too high for what you need in ranked play. You don't need that high of a zoom. You gotta run the SPX optic. Next up, we're gonna go for the stock and the rear grip, same as the other classes. Speed up the ADS speed as fast as possible. Go high velocity, and then the short barrel. This will help with that ADS speed. The damage range is already really good, so even though you're hurting the damage range, it's not going to be noticeable. And same with hurting bullet velocity. You got the high velocity ammo, you're not going to notice it real change in bullet velocity. Now we're at the Signal 50. With this gun, you got a lot of room to mess around with. Personally, I would stick with these 3 attachments as like a lock. Like I wouldn't change these at all. But I know a lot of people have probably seen the clips of people running around with Signal 50s in ranked where like you just run like a little red dot or something like that on the gun, you get quick ADS speed. But if you can do that, but if you want to keep it like a traditional sniper, you can keep the same optic or go with the SPX as we did. Same thing as we did with the Signal 50. Where's that? There it is. You can run with this or keep the default. And if you also want, even though it will slow down your EDS speed, is you can run some sort of um, muzzle because it is a semi-auto sniper. You're gonna make sure you want to keep that recoil down because it's gonna really benefit you by staying in scope and taking a few shots if you can at a target. Or you can go with the barrel if you want to speed it up even more, but that barrel will hurt your recoil control by a good amount. That's gonna be it for this video. If you did enjoy, make sure you do leave a like, subscribe, comment what you want to see next. This is, I do really feel like that this sniper, as you can see it in the CDL, again, this is the sniper you're going to see. You're going to see people running the SPX primarily. You might see a few pull out something a little different, but you're going to get the best damage overall with the SPX and the best ADS speed. It can't go wrong. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.